Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
The margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves, they want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Don't be afraid to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions.
You have to believe that something different can happen. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
That most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
Dig deep down, ask yourselves, who do you want to be? Figuring out for yourselves what makes you happy, no matter how crazy it may sound to the people.
Make a choice. Like, just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide.
Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that?
What is it you said to the kid? It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Get up.
Get up. And don't ever give up.
We can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
To be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit. I don't do well in math. You're right. You ain't never studied. I'm not good in writing because you have never written before.
Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. If you are not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time.
Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not point fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them
show you how great I am.
The 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure.
Now, what are you gonna do?
Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Hello everyone, welcome to your spiritual vaccine hour. What a riveting sort of get up and get going video that we just watched for the opening of today's show, because it's about never giving up. And I think many of us struggle with finding the motivation, the inspiration, the community, the sense of feeling, connectivity to keep going, especially at a time like this. Anyway, I'm your host for the evening. I don't really like hosts. I'm just your friend. I'm hanging with you for the night. As you all know, on March 16th, we started with Spiritual Vaccine because our meditation museums were all closed. They're still closed, and we're hoping to reopen at some point pretty soon. But it's been very beautiful building the community that we have so far with each other. And I really hope that everyone's doing pretty well today and just settling into this new sense of yourself, where one of the things I've been observing with my friends and connections and individuals I've been doing work with, have no judgment whatsoever about nothing. Have no judgment whatsoever about nothing. And see how your energy changes within a week. To simply remove the energy of judgment completely from your personality. And you'll feel a huge difference. There'll be a calm, there'll be a centeredness, there'll be an openness, there'll be a humility, there'll be a curiosity. There'll be an interest to understand the story of another. But we're in a particular period that we can't give up. And it's always, I've noticed at the points in my life when sometimes I'll catch myself, it starts with one thought. One thought. Forget it. Has anyone ever had that one thought? Forget it. And you break the diet? Forget the diet. How many of you have had the one thought, I'm just going to end this relationship? How many of you have had the one thought, I'm going to just get into this relationship, even though I saw all these red flags? How many of you have been to what they call those things, Santosh, where it's like a gambling thing and one-arm jack machine? Yeah. Santosh goes, I'm not the person to say that. I've never even been to a nightclub. But it's these things, one-arm bandit or one jack, or anyway. So you put a quarter in there. I know we're so outdated, and you pull this lever down, and then all these little things come up. And I remembered I played that, especially when I was younger, in my 20s. But I always noticed that just when you think you're about to win, you move away from the machine, and a senior citizen comes next to you and pulls it with her little nickel or quarter, and all of a sudden, bling, 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 and you feel like, ah.
Someone says one-arm bandit.
One-arm
slot machine.
Slot machines. That's what it was in One-Arm Bandit. Thank you, whoever is so up to date. But yes, I've had that feeling where I gave up too easy. And whenever you give up too easy, somehow there's a regret. Like, you feel like just that one more thought could have pushed you through. Just that one more thought. Pandemic, it's still upon us. Racial strife, but also the uprising of people, black and white, stepping up to say, I'm supporting you, I'm for you. And I don't know how many of you watched the conversation on the Shift Network today on transforming racism with Sister Jenna and Philip Helmick. Thumbs up. Anybody watched it today? If you didn't, you need to go there and watch it. I think, Antonia, I don't know if it was on America, is it on our Facebook or anywhere, but I know you can definitely get it on the Shift Network. And basically the discussion was on what's next and our spiritual perspective to move in post-COVID, post-racism, post-everything, that we're actually moving into a golden age. And if you have the faith, that the age after this will be an age where no one suffers. There's no lies and deceit. There isn't pain and despair. If you have that faith, then you will not give up despite all the stuff. And sometimes that one thought comes. Today, Santosh and I had another marathon day, and he just sat behind the camera and says, "Sister, how do you just keep going?" And I told him, well, right now I'm working on a particular thing and I'm really focusing on that. And sometimes when my energy is focused on just one thing, I can't get distracted by little things. It's like, this is really important. I've got to get it done. I've got to make this happen, right? And then all the other stuff that's going on. Sister Gita put mango juice in the microwave today with some other green contraption, which we had no idea what it is till this moment. And we had guests over today, beautiful family that came by. 3 from India, 1 from Persia. And we sat and we cooked and we put things together. And there was Sister Gita. She now has this beautiful headband over her head and these big round earrings, which earrings should wear in your ear, but she put them on the top of her head in her little bandana. So as she was walking in the kitchen and we were looking at her, we were like, oh, the Empress have arrived, because only an Empress would decorate her head like that as she walked into the room. So of course she's seeing 8, 9 of us in the kitchen, and everyone's cooking, having the wonderful conversation, putting things together. And so Sister Gita wants to help, right? And she doesn't give up. She just doesn't give up. So Santosh is telling Sister Gita, you can't put juice in a silver cup in the microwave. And she took it from Santosh. No, just like this. It was so sweet. No, I'm going to give everybody juice. And she's putting the juice in the microwave, everyone. She wasn't giving up. And Santosh is looking at me. Help, sister, help. You can't put the silver in the microwave, sister. And then the family's watching the scene, right? And I'm sitting in the dining room and I'm like not even paying them any mind. You know why? I'm focused on what I have to work on right now. And I am not giving up. I am not giving up on something that means a lot to me right now, which is really, really serious. And I'm focusing on no. I've got to work on this. So little Santosh is like, I need help. So sister had like 4, 5, 6 cups. She's putting them all in the microwave. We don't know what she's put in the juice. So just a little bit, I just turned around. I just said, sweetie, Sister Gita, everyone has had juice. Nobody wants any more. Everybody had juice? Yeah, everyone kind of had juice. Oh. And then she put it in the microwave again. She wouldn't give up. And then Santosh says, sister, you can't do this. And she looked at him with love, with a little snarl. And she put it in again. And I'm watching the scene. And I'm like, I can't give up on what I have to do for me too. I'm focusing on something really important for me. I'm trying to create this mantra in my head to really create an energy all around me, right? And then I have one lady from Persia talking to me about sweet things. Then I have another lady talking to me about another things. Then I have a wonderful brother talking to me about finance and bitcoins and China's going cryptocurrency. And then I had Santosh, sister, help, she's putting the thing in the microwave. And I go, I ain't giving up. I've got to focus on something. I hope you're getting the point I'm trying to make here. You will be distracted by a million things outside of you. But you and only you are in charge of where you need to keep your center. And you are the only one in charge of staying focused. And where nothing outside of you might be falling into place. The minute you bite that bait, and the minute you grab one of them, you're hooked. And you give in. And you get sidetracked. And you get lost. And then you start to be upset with yourself. And you get disheartened. And you get so angry that you spill it out on everyone else. And it can get so severe that you get so depressed that you can't even get out of bed. Or you can get so low and you can give up so much on yourself that you end up with an addiction. Or you can get so low that you attract a partner, a relationship, a situation that hits up on you emotionally, mentally, financially, physically maybe, that you almost think you deserve it because you've given up. And even though I feel that we make no mistakes because as souls, we've all come into our bodies to play out the part that's recorded in the soul, I still believe that there's always going to be hope and there's always going to be a chance, a possibility where the soul will have that silver lining in the midst of the darkness and will just say, I've got to try one more time. And sometimes it is just tough. Sometimes you feel the universe just doesn't give you a break. And maybe it doesn't. But in order to shift that, I've got to find that one thought that says, but I can't give in and I can't give up. So I feel that the more that we practice our meditation and listen to what these thoughts are saying, and you all know I'm a very big supporter, write down those thoughts. Read them over to yourself and see. Sometimes when I'm going through a season and it's not spring and it's definitely not summer, but it might be the winter of my season, I'm not doing so well. I will take my smartphone and I'll record what I'm going through. And I have to tell you that whenever I play it back, I go, Jen, it's the same energy. I hear you, I've heard you like this before. I've felt you like this before. What are you not getting? So one of the reasons why we sometimes want to give up is that we don't feel that we're actually changing because we're going through the same cyclical process, different person, different time, different place, but that same feeling gnaws at your spirit. And you feel it. And that's why when we do our meditation and we turn our attention behind our eyes and tap into the soul, we recognize that one of the greatest faculties of the spirit is the power to choose. And even though the mind, which is also a faculty in the soul, will tell you, will throw you a million options to choose from, your intellectual capacity, your conscience, your wisdom, your conscious choice will need to have developed enough knowledge and wisdom to make the right selection. And a lot of times, when our souls make a decision, it's really wanting to decide something that gives it more power. It's just that if the soul is accustomed to being in a form of power based on limited tendencies, body conscious tendencies, human tendencies, then when the soul doesn't get those human wishes, it feels like giving up, but spirit never gives up. Sometimes it's the soul that is signaling to you, give up on running after these illusions. I was saying to Santosh today, I says, isn't that amazing? After 2 or 3 months locked up in your house, we went out today to get a few things and to fulfill some appointments. And I said, still, people are wearing their masks and their fashion design masks. And I said, it's so incredible. They have on shorts and a t-shirt, but a designer mask. And I said, despite whatever it is, you know, we're always this species. We want beauty, we want to be seen. It just doesn't matter. The point that I'm making is you can't give up on spirit, because spirit is spirit. It's always going to be energy. And it's always going to have something to offer you. But sometimes when we are giving up, we think we're giving up on the spirit, but actually we're giving up on the illusion. Because the soul says to you, I can't feed this illusion that you want me to feed anymore. Many times when you get disheartened, you want something physical. You want a person, you want a thing, or you've lost a job, or you think someone has shamed you, defamed you. You don't look good enough like everybody else. You don't have enough money like everyone else. It's always something from outside in. And you know what the weird thing is? When you give up on chasing after those illusions, when you actually give up on chasing those illusions, the spirit will say to you, finally, you're giving me now some attention. And I will never give up on you. The soul will never give up on the soul. It will give up on illusions, but it won't give up on the soul. Yes, things get tough. But we are strong. By birth, by nature. And the only thing that disempowers us is our attachment to illusion. It feeds at the soul like a parasite. Just eats away at it. Let's go into a meditation now. And feed the soul the right kind of food, the right kind of energy, the right kind of love. Take a deep breath and enjoy this moment in your own company. So take a very deep breath, inhale and exhale, and allow your mind to gently rest on the running creek. observe how the water goes around the rocks and it never gets stuck. It just keeps flowing. The reason why is that the river never gives up. It never gives up on its natural capacity to flow and to keep things moving. It knows who it is. And it knows its purpose. So let's take this time to know ourselves. Who am I behind these eyes? The dreams, laughs, creates, smiles, sometimes cries, get afraid, get angry, and even gives up. But who am I originally and eternally? It can't be that I'm just my physical form. I feel like more. So if I am the being of light and the energy of light and the being of love, then I could use that energy and that quality to flow through every challenge and difficulty that appears in my life. I am love. I am power. I am light. And these energies never give up. I am love. I am power. And I am light. And these energies can never give up. I am love. I am power. And I am light. So when I accept myself as a being of love and power and light, what can I not do? When you look back at life, haven't you survived many storms? Do you know why? Because you are love, you are power, and you are light. Let's take a moment to simply pause in that belief for quite some while. I just want you to be inside of yourself and observe what thoughts are emerging and what thoughts are disappearing. But hold this moment as your strengthening moment, your empowering moment. thoughts that you create determine your destiny. I am love. I am power. And I am light. Just stay here with me by the creek for a while, in pure, gentle silence. So, welcome back, and I trust that those few minutes of being in your own company brought you to a deeper, stronger, more motivated part of your being. Yes, it's true. Sometimes when you disconnect, you reconnect. So sometimes when you give up, you're giving up to an energy that, again, I want to say was more human conditioned. It was body conscious energy. And many times the soul just wishes for the soul to tap into its original strength and its original force. It's something that I slip in and out of at times because I recognize the soul potential is so vast, like the universe, versus when the soul gets in its own way and tries to make sure this is right, make sure that is this, and you might think you're getting a lot done, but in reality, you're slowing down progress. So, how was the meditation, and how was the talk, and anyone has any questions that they would like to share tonight on the topic? Any questions that you might have? Kirit Shalini, Mother Nature also has some laws. Law of nature, if one follows the laws, she's most forgiving and allows us to enjoy her beauty. Beautiful. December is magical. I made tomato chutney for Thursday. Oh, that's wonderful. December is magical, whoever you are. Shalini, yeah. So it's like when you feel that black cloud over your head, there are a few things I'd like to talk about where that is concerned. It could be sometimes your past and your expectation of the future are colliding in your present moment. So that can feel like a cloud. That's one. The second aspect of a cloud, it could be the vibrations of the atmosphere that you're feeding into through media, through newspapers, or hearing something from someone that just kind of woke up a memory of the past. And again, it's connected to the past, right? But that the negativity of the vibrations also feels like we have a cloud over our heads. And another aspect of where the cloud can come from is that deep down we know we're not living out the journey that's really ordained for us. Maybe we've been fulfilling the needs of other people. Maybe we've been people pleasers. Maybe we've been doing it their way. And you can feel a part of you is being held back, like you've got a ball and chain holding you back. Or maybe you're picking up the vibrations of people thinking about you, and all of that could be true. However, the fundamental truth about this situation is that you, the soul, have to tap into your power. And that's why I highly recommend that you practice meditation, Raj Yoga, because when the soul recognizes it has the ability to think of God's energy, then it becomes very clear that when it thinks of God's energy, there's a different kind of reciprocation of that remembrance. If you think about your mother-in-law who you feel that you interpret in your head, she hates you, then when you think of her, the vibration of hate will come back to you. If you think about a job that you lost that you loved, and it was a very big part of your identity, it was a very big part of the economy and the finances of your home, then when you think about how you lost the job, why you lost the job, the feeling of loss and grief will come back to you as a vibration. So what happens, the cloud gets thicker and thicker, and it really, really hits at our psychic energies, which are deep, deep, deep wounds that we haven't addressed yet. So the way to get out of that is that you're going to have to start to realize that the energy of God is your way out, and it's the strongest force that exists and that we all need. The second thing is find friends and people to really get you motivated, but in a good way, okay? Not distract you, but really inspire you. And the third thing is to really be honest when you tell your friends how you're feeling and what you're going through, but to not suppress your pain and your suffering. When it's coming up, you just say, I see you. I can see what's going on inside of you. I don't want to feel like this forever, but why? And ask yourself why, so that you will feel your answer coming up from your why. So I hope that helped a lot, Shalini, that answer. I hope it helps. So are you talking about the cloud of the rain, or are you really talking about the spiritual cloud? I hope it is. So Praveen, you have so many tasks on hand, but the mind does not focus and let you do anything. What can we do? Go back into the center focus of what is most important to you. There's got to be something in a day that strikes you as a priority. And for me, my priority right now is to keep my vibrational field so high that it takes care of the healing of my body, it takes care of the healing of my mind, and it just, radiates and creates magic and wonder. A second thing is you have to sometimes think about maybe your physical priority, that your physical priority is, I've got to make sure I go to the bank. So 20 other things come, and the bank closes at 2, 3, 4 o'clock, then you make sure no matter what, you decide this is what you're going to do. So decide for yourself, Praveen, what are your priorities for the day, and stick to it. Sometimes when you wake up, write it on a piece of paper, things that I must do today, and at least attempt to do 2 or 3 or 4. And you find that your confidence and your focus will build up more and more. Revati, how do you forgive yourself for not having been able to stay focused for having gotten disheartened and depressed for a long duration in the face of mental, psychological, emotional abuse. I don't think you need to forgive yourself. I think you're a survivor. I think you've been through maybe a very challenging situation in life, but you're still here. And you still have the confidence and the goodness to take time out in the night to listen to a show like this. That speaks volumes about where you're at inside. So to me, you've already done the forgiveness. But again, when you focus on a little bit of that past stuff, you know, those bruises take some time to heal. And if you don't heal those wounds, they will stay there and fester. And it's like my friend Lou told me today, that sometimes when you're not able to talk about the wounds that you've held, it's like, I think he used the analogy of a champagne bottle, that the minute you pop it open and you give the person a chance to speak, everything spills out, right? So let it be, maybe you've already popped open and everything is spilling out. But I don't think you need to forgive yourself right now. I think you've done it. Or there's no way you'd be listening to a program like this if you weren't on the way up. So be patient and take your time, Rivati. Be patient and take your time. Zora, nice to have you on our Spiritual Vaccine Hour. Hope you're doing well. So how can you keep going when you feel like the weight on your shoulder doesn't let up? It's a particular interpretation that the soul is feeding. It's a thought. And the more you think about how weighty and how heavy your finances are, your relationship, the abuse, the loss, the hell that's going on in America, it's because of the way you're seeing it. And because you're feeding it as a thought, it's not holding up. Because that's what you're thinking. And I can guarantee you this. When you stop thinking about how bad it is, you'll start to see so much good. It's a thought away. Thoughts are energy. Everything in the world is created as a result of energy. And if my thoughts have a specific vibrational form to it over a long period of time, then that's what I just keep bringing into my life. But it doesn't mean I can't change it. I've told you the story once. I had gotten a pair of shoes that was completely a shoe I would never wear in my whole life. It was one of those Dillinger shoes, you know, those mafia looking shoes with the, forgot what you call them. It was like black in the front and white in the rest and had a lace. I forgot what they call. I call them my mafia shoes. I don't even know where they are today. But every time I would put that pair of shoes on Zora, I go, who is this person? Because I would never wear a shoe like that. But it was good for me because it helped me to change the way I was thinking. So try something new. Something as simple as just even dressing different, comb your hair different, do something different. And you'll feel little by little, your energy, your thought focus will start to shift into something else. I guarantee it. I really do. Okay. Etta, the illusion is always there, but focusing more on the love of soul consciousness and accepting that the drama is perfect. Beautiful, Etta. Thank you so much. So nice to have you. Hi, Nicole. Om Shanti. Nagashri, nice to have you. Is there anyone on Facebook that has any question? Yes, Zori, you need to stay persistent in spite of the whirlwind going on around you. Yes, We don't have a choice, because the whirlwind that's going on around us, and I'm not saying this as a negative, but our vibration and the collective energy of people in our lives is also adding to that. And even though I want it to be cool and smooth, and if I'm not comfortable with the energy, it's like I have to dig so deep. Did you remember when we used to, I don't know if you did, but when I would watch Superman, it was so many years ago, and I remembered this so well, that when Superman would go near to kryptonite, he got so weak. And he knew that whenever that mineral was around him, it just took all of his power. And as souls, we have to accept, when I look at the defects of people, when I think about the defects of people, when I have expectations from people, when I have desires, when I feed into what should have or could have or didn't have or must have, or when I feed into all those thoughts, that's my kryptonite. And I just feel like I give up. I can't do it anymore. And what you have to do is shift it and go, I don't want to feed my kryptonite anymore. And you change, you redirect the thought. And haven't you seen where Superman had to dig deep, deep, deep to find the power? It's the same thing for us. Despite all the chaos around us, we got to dig deep, we got to dig deep, we got to go in the soul. We've got to find God in there. That energy of God's love is waiting for us, and tap into it like you plug in your iPhone to be recharged. You've got to plug the soul into the remembrance of the Supreme Being to get recharged. That's what I was saying yesterday, why I love the Brahma Kumaris, because it has taught us how to plug into God's energy. So you keep going, because situations are going to keep coming, but they come to kind of give you a pause, and they tell you maybe go this way, because there's now a fork in the crossroad, you know, and you kind of have to, oh, well, I was going this way, but now you're telling me no, you're telling me this, or you're telling me to stop. But within that, if you keep tapping into the energy of the soul, you can build yourself tremendously from that. Okay? All right. Lily Frog. Hi, Lily Frog. Is that really your last name, Frog? I don't mean to tease you, but is it? Anyway, so how to hold on gracefully in difficult times if I'm lost and not sure who I am or where I should be. Please find a spiritual community. Please turn to your friends that made sense. Please listen to programs that inspire you. Please listen to your intuition, your gut feeling that will tell you what is real and what is artificial. Please listen in, lean in to what is pure and true. There's your innocence is living in you. Your hope is living in you. Your purity is living in you. Your wisdom lives inside of you. And they basically just say, could you use me? Take a breath. Breathe deep. Write a letter to yourself. Go for a walk, and with your walk, check what you're thinking. Develop a dream and a goal that's not just physical, but it's spiritual. And you're thinking about, I want to reach a stage in my life that I'm not so sensitive, or I don't scare easy, or I have enough love to give even those who are loveless. Find that aim for yourself. It's only for you. And even if every day you contribute to one thought a day or two thoughts a day towards it, I guarantee you, in a few days, you'll snap right out of it. Because those few thoughts of pure intention are so fueled with divinity and grace that it will just move you in a very powerful way. Okay, Lily Frog, hope you enjoy that. Great. Great. All right, anyone on Facebook would like to share anything tonight? Anybody has anything they'd like to share today? Everyone's enjoying? Thumbs up? You know, I love this thumbs up thing. Plus it gives you exercise. I really enjoyed my conversation today with Philip on the Shift Network for transforming racism. It was very heartfelt. It's very, very touching today. Okay, Barbara Goodman also, please pray for a friend's child who's battling anorexia. Yeah, usually when somebody has anorexia, there's something from the past that's eating away at them, and they're not able to let go of it. And it's deep, it's a deep wound, and it's not of this birth. And they have to do some deep wound work. See if they can contact Dr. Bradley Nelson. He has a wonderful program called the Emotion Code. Maybe Santosh or somebody can put it in the field. But have your friend contact Dr. Bradley Nelson, say I suggested it, and he'll take her through a process, and I'm guaranteed it will help. It will help. It will help, Barbara. Oh, Georgiana Katsura, it's like you're speaking directly to me. I'm going through such a difficult time. I'm so glad, Georgiana. Glad that it could be of help. Sunita, glad that it's helping. Daniela, welcome. Glad to have you. Sudha, welcome. Glad to have you. Marissa, wonderful. It's Oxford shoes? Okay, I didn't know that was what they were called. I used to call them, Marissa, my mafia shoes. And then I would just say, okay, I'm going to go out like a little spiritual Dillinger today, you know. So thank you. So it's called the Oxford shoes. Okay. Hi, Nikki. Glad to have you on board tonight. Thank you for joining us. Yolanda Lelis Punsalam. I wonder why you aren't one of the speakers in the 21 sessions of the master classes. Who knows? But I'm a speaker here for you. You should tell them, Yolanda. Who knows? All right, so we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we've covered tonight, right? Anything else on anyone's heart? Anything else on anyone's mind? Anything else? These are amazing times. They're painful. But, you know, sometimes with the pain comes like a pushing forward, like something is being pushed forward. Something is, what they say, being birthed. It's coming through, it's coming through. And we might not necessarily care for it too much, but there will always be a light at the end of the tunnel. All right? Okay, let's close off with a beautiful meditation. Any other thoughts in anyone's mind? Okay, wonderful, Sequin. We would never let Sister Gita feel abandoned. You have no idea how well we take care of her. Santosh and I were talking about it today. She will call up 100 people on the phone today, on the calls, and she'll tell them, oh, Sister Jenna is so busy, but you know, she tries her best to take care of me, but she's busy, you know, it doesn't really, you know. And then by the time everyone hears her, they will be like, I can't believe Sister Jenna doesn't take care of her. Da, 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 da. And Santosh and I will be there, and we just kind of look at each other. So one day I overheard a conversation. She was talking to a brother. And basically the brother was going, I don't understand. Sister Jen is so knowledgeable, and she's supposed to be a good soul, and she's in service. Doesn't she know taking care of you is service? Gita, you've got to tell Jenna to take care of you. And I overheard that conversation. Let me tell you, my sister left and Jenna came. And let me tell you what happened. I just said, I can't believe you just said that. I picked up the phone and I spoke to the brother. I go, can I share with you all that I do in a day to make sure she's okay and comfortable? Can I tell you how many doctors and how many of the best doctors she's gone to? Can I tell you how many healers and how many places and what we have done? Can I tell you how many times we've fulfilled just about every wish she's had? So don't say to her, I'm not doing service. And please don't buy into her saying, I'm busy. I am busy, but not busy enough to tuck her in at nights, rub her back, play with her, tell her, come and sit while we're doing the production, come and join me for breakfast, come let me cook, come let's be in the kitchen together, come let's go for a drive out. How many lectures before the lockdown I would take her to with me because I didn't want to leave her at home. I get off the stage and there's Sister Gita on the stage singing Kiki, you know I love you, you know I love you, Kiki. And the funny thing is, who cares about me? The irony is, who's looking out for me? It is such a high maintenance affair to take care of an angel who is an absolute jewel of light and is just a rebel, you know, just doing her thing. So just want you to know. Sikwini, I hope I answered your question. So yes, they did drink some of the mango juice, but after the first or second sip, they were going, what is that? It doesn't really taste like mango. And I said, you don't have to drink all of it. Just drink, because I don't know what she'd put in it. I think she must have put some tea. I think she put a tea bag or tea or something in the mango juice. So Sequin, please know we're doing our best. And Santosh, I know you understand, Nicole. We both understand what it takes. So that's too sweet. Susanna, thank you for listening and empathizing with me. I need the empathy. I need your sympathy. Taking care of this amazing, incredible light requires a lot of delicacy. And you can't be harsh, you can't be rude. Remember yesterday she was spraying the RV with glue. And so after I was, no. Sister, no, don't do that. Do that. No, sister, don't spray. Don't spray the RV with the glue. And then she says to me, you shouldn't talk to me like that. And I said, but you wouldn't put the glue down and you're spraying the RV with the glue. And then when I did, because, you know, I'm always doing self-checking, and I checked myself and I go, come on. I said it nicely 4 times. And then Love said, but the 5th time would have been a charm. It's just like, yeah, I'm sure you would have said that. So just to give you all an idea, we can't even give up on ourselves. We can't give up on our relationships. We can't give up on love. We can't give up on wisdom and purity. Again, I gave up on the 4th time. Went, no, sister, don't. No, don't spray the RV with the glue. No. Put it down. And then when I did, no, she was like, you shouldn't talk to me like that. Like, that's what she heard. But Love said to me, on the 5th turn, it would have been a job. I said, okay. What to do? What to do? All right, Asmita, glad to have you. Glad to really have you join us. Nikhil Kumar Joshi, thank you. Yes, Sister Geeta, Brother Santosh, everyone for the spiritual meditation. Great. Susanna, thank you for joining us today. It was great. Glad to have you all. All right. Yes, Portia, remember God is blessing you. I hope Dee Dee Bird is doing well. And if she's on your shoulder, give her a big kiss and a big hug for me. And we're going to close off now. Thank you for a lovely time today. Again, it's been a long day, so we're going to actually end on time. But very big hug to everybody today. Like, big hug. And closing statement. Yeah, it's natural to sometimes feel like you want to give up. But always remember that what you're giving up isn't you, the soul. You're giving up on the illusion. Because the soul knows it doesn't need to put the energy there anymore. And sometimes you do have to give up to get really into you. You've got to sometimes let go of something that's no longer of service to be redirected to what is. And the soul naturally has its original power. If we could just give the soul that chance, it will show you how strong it really is. So thanks to all of you for joining in tonight. And eat well, have a lovely dinner. Don't overeat, hopefully vegetarian. Have a nice vegetarian meal tonight. And say something kind and sweet to someone. Let it come from the heart. Let it just come from the heart. And trust that your divinity, your grace, and your beauty will always pull you through. Always. Good night. Om Shanti.
The night watcher fly free, cross the still of the dawn. And if peace were a mountain, we'd gather around her to bathe in her silence, her power, her was a flower in bloom. We long to return to that place of still waters and sit on the banks under some shady tree. In my mind I can see it, I hear it, and I believe it. And love, peace, and wisdom are the three